Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're going to be taking a look at r/Surviving Infidelity, where OP is so proud that he dodged a bullet. Let's begin. I'm not sure how I missed the signs. My now ex-wife had been cheating on me with her boss for a while, and I had no clue. Posted by Reddit user Alternative Cash 6088.
Divorced last year and loving it, but have been in a funk of insecurities the last few days, so hoping that typing this out will help. I've long since grieved the end of the marriage, but the fact that I was cheated on is causing me serious issues and insecurities with my current relationship, and I'm having significant problems dealing with them. We were married 17 years, although to be honest the marriage started going slowly downhill after 10. And by 2018 or 2019 it was definitely crappy. I didn't do much to try and help fix it. I was definitely avoidant. I had basically made the decision that I was just going to tough it out until our kids graduated high school. A good 8 years at that point. But it eventually got to the point where I had serious doubts as to whether I could make it that long. We were in marriage counseling for a while before things fell apart, and at one point my ex dropped the bomb that she felt like she was being sexually harassed by her boss, and that she felt like her boss was setting her up to get fired, etc. We had some fairly significant discussions about her quitting, maybe hiring a lawyer, but eventually those discussions just ended. Our sex life was minimal the last few years, maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks, but by mid-2019 it became non-existent. And we started sleeping in separate bedrooms. She was in the middle of changing careers and going back to school, so she was essentially never home. I was the primary breadwinner by a long shot, and made all the meals, did the laundry, took the kids to and from school, etc. All of this became way too much for me to handle and I couldn't really verbalize it, so I started therapy. Eventually my therapist made me realize that she was disengaging, and that while I could try and save the marriage if I wanted to, I'd have to accept the fact that she wouldn't be a source of support. So I brought up separating. She faked being upset for about 15 minutes, and then basically said, well, if that's what you think is best. COVID hit a month or two later. There was no discussion at all about reconciling, but there wasn't much urgency for me to move out. Sometime in August of 2020 we were in the kitchen at the same time, and she put her cell phone down on the counter right in front of me almost like she meant to do it. Her phone was open to a text conversation where she was calling someone my love. Of course it's her boss, the one who was the topic of many marriage counseling sessions when she claimed he was harassing her. I was sort of shocked, but honestly was almost happy because it solidified my decision. I started looking for apartments the next day and moved out about 2 months later. We spoke briefly about it a few times, and I got several different stories, most of which contradicted the others. I must have misread the text. The text was actually to someone else. She calls lots of people my love. No, she doesn't. The two of them are really good friends. No, she doesn't seem to remember ever accusing him of sexual harassment, etc. Of course, the day I moved out he essentially moved in. He never formally moved in as I was still paying the mortgage, but his car was there constantly. This guy lived about an hour away. During the divorce proceeding I found out he paid the retainer for her divorce attorney, and he paid about $15,000 toward her credit cards. Honestly, ending the marriage was one of the best things to ever happen to me, so I should be happy that she sort of forced the issue. I guess I feel pissed off at myself that I was so easily fooled, because up until the moment I saw her text, I would have never guessed she would be capable of cheating. It makes me question a whole lot, and it caused a huge blow to my self-confidence.
Yep, you kinda got lucky there, OP. Her boss didn't win a prize at all. He got stuck with a cheater and a liar. She will do exactly the same thing to him, and in time, she will monkey branch to the next guy. OP, she definitely wanted you to see the text message with her boss when she left her phone open in front of you. My guess is that she wanted you to fight for her, and when you didn't confront her like she wanted you to, she doubled down with him. I'm glad you had enough common sense to not fall for that crap and just moved on. Well done, OP. You even posted a short update for us down in the comments.
What happened to your wife after the divorce? We don't really communicate unless it's over text, and then it's solely about kids or divorce-related finances. The divorce has been final for about 6 months. There is still some financial stuff being processed. The kids don't talk about her and I don't ask. As best as I can tell, she's still together with her boss. His car is in the driveway every time I come to pick the kids up on my pickup day. My guess is they will stay together. She's essentially incapable of living a normal adult life without help. I don't know much about him, but he's never been married, is a good 5 to 7 years older than she is, and he's not much of a looker. So I'm guessing he'll stick with what he can get. I would not be shocked to find out they're getting married in the near future, but wouldn't be shocked if they don't. I'd say that I hope they're happy, but I really don't care.
And now for today's second story. My husband and I keep fighting about my weight, and I don't know where to go from here. Okay. I'll answer this right now. You go to the gym. That's where you should be.
I have been with my partner for about 8 years. This issue has been going on for about the last 1.5 years. A year before we got married, my then fiancé approached me about losing weight. He encouraged me to lose weight for the wedding. I had already lost about 40 pounds by this point on my own. Me and him were on the same page. I wanted to lose more weight. Shit absolutely hit the fan shortly after this, and to make a long story short, my personal life essentially flipped upside down and I actually started gaining weight. I was drinking more to cope, and I was a couple months into taking antidepressants for anxiety. So naturally it was getting harder to not only lose weight, but maintain my prior weight loss. After a couple months I started to come out of it and get my shit together. I saw a doctor and asked for help. I wanted to make sure my body was in good shape to get ready to have kids. Since then I have lost all the weight I gained and then some. I still have more weight to lose, probably about 30 pounds. Yes, I'm overweight, but I'm by no means obese. My health is excellent. I get blood work once every 3 months, and everything is monitored by my doctor. I have PCOS and see a reproductive endocrinologist for this. Every couple weeks, my now husband would say stuff to me about how he wants me to lose weight, and how nothing he says is getting me to do it. It really came to a head last weekend. I was making a bagel for breakfast and he kept giving me a hard time about it. That it's not healthy and it's sugary, and I'm going to feel like crap if I eat it. And I said I'm very much in the mood for this, I just want to enjoy this one bagel. Leave me alone. He stopped, but the comment didn't sit right with me and I brought up my frustrations later in the day. I wanted him to understand that sometimes I have cravings, because I'm human and it's my choice what I put into my body. He broke down and said he's upset with me that I'm not losing weight. That every day he looks at me and gets upset over it. And don't I want to wear a bikini like other girls? And that I couldn't lose it for the wedding, and he feels like now that that is past, am I ever going to actually do it? We talked it out and I reassured him that I do want to lose weight, which is the God's honest truth. The conversation was over and we moved on. But it honestly gutted me. I was so upset for days over it. I felt uncomfortable in my own skin. I felt like to make my husband happy, I had to lose weight. I felt watched under a microscope. We went on a trip a couple days ago to visit a friend and I felt like I couldn't eat or drink what I wanted because Elle felt watched. I kept thinking, is he getting pissed off because of how I look or what I'm ordering to eat? I couldn't figure out if my feelings were justified. Yes, he's entitled to say whatever he wants to say to me, but aren't I entitled to do what I want with my body? I was feeling watched and controlled and judged. The world is so body positive and all about acceptance, and yet I feel like my partner in life was putting me down and not accepting me. How could I love and accept myself if my life partner has an issue with the physical me? I just want to be me. I decided to talk to him tonight about it. I tried explaining that his actions were doing more harm than good, and that I didn't want to have these conversations anymore. That I wanted to focus on my weight loss on my own. And that is my partner. He should love me unconditionally anyway, especially since I used to be heavier than I am now, and it was never brought up back then. I thought when we made vows to each other that that's what it meant. This did not go over well. He got very upset with me, told me I was making this difficult and that I was the worst, that I haven't lost weight for 2 years, ouch. I kept telling him that his words were doing more harm than good, and I needed support a different way. He told me that was my problem, fine. I agree. Therefore I didn't want to have conversations about my weight anymore. He told me fine, be fat. He said I could be 300 pounds and he wouldn't give a shit. Then he threw in one final comment about how he's not having kids with me until I lose the weight. We haven't talked since. What can I do? He clearly doesn't get how I feel. I'm trying the best that I can. I feel like he feels attacked because in his mind he's trying to support me. We go to the gym together and try and make healthy meals together. And I love that stuff. I just don't like the comments that put me down, the pressure, and the judgment, even if those aren't his intentions. I want to know that he loves me for me, and even if I never lost another pound, he would still love me unconditionally. He says he does, but I feel like his actions speak otherwise. How can I better explain to him how I feel? TLDR. Husband wants me to lose weight, but the way he's going about it is hurting me, doing more harm than good. Looking for advice on how to get my point across.
OP, you're so full of shit. Every single thing that your husband has pointed out was correct. And hell, I'm even willing to bet real money that the doctor you're visiting said the exact same thing, but you just conveniently left that out in your story. It's amazing how you're trying to twist this into framing your husband as some sort of abuser, blaming your mental state, blaming everything else under the sun other than your fat ass. Look, OP, I understand where you're coming from. I used to be fat too. How fat? Over 150 kilograms to be more precise. That's around 330 pounds for my American friends. And the last time I weighed myself, I'm only 82 kilograms. That's around 2 weeks ago. I literally lost almost half my weight to be fit. And what about you? You lost 30 pounds. Congratulations. What happened? You gained them back, you fat fuck. Why are you so proud of it, OP? You're back to zero. Like I said before, OP, I understand. It is extremely difficult to lose weight, and it's supposed to be. That is what makes it valuable. The fact that it's not easy. That is the reason why we experience so much joy to become fit after being fat for so long. It's because that we have conquered something very difficult. And yet, here you are, playing the victim, framing your husband as some sort of abuser, trying to get validation that living a self-destructive life is for some reason healthy. OP, why can't you just shut up, take responsibility for the Big Macs, for the French fries, and go to the gym and suffer like the rest of us? Oh, that's right, you're a modern Western woman. So you would rather risk your marriage, risk your pregnancy, risk your own health rather than take responsibility. Of course you are. At least you're right, OP. It is your body. It is your choice, 100%. So if it's your choice to be morbidly obese and die of diabetes by the age of 40, well, you go girl, go chase that dream. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.